I'm in the middle of making a healthy Easter breakfast, and I thought, why don't I show you guys? So, as it happens, I do have more bananas to use up because you use nice ripe bananas. And so I might film the second lot and show you this very healthy but yummy breakfast that I like to enjoy. And particularly, you know, no hot cross buns for me today. So, and I'm on my own, and I thought I'd make myself this healthy treat that's within my eating guidelines. Basically, I don't eat any form of refined flours or any sugar or honey or artificial sweeteners, and this has none of them, but it's full of fruit and oats and other yummy things. So no good for anyone with a nut allergy, but apart from that, I will show you and see what you think, because these are really, really yummy. Firstly, I don't normally eat canned pineapple. I would eat it fresh, but I don't have any. And obviously that has sugar in it. So I want to get rid of as much of that as I can. So I give the worms my syrup, and then I rinse it under the tap. And because my water's chlorinated, I give it a second rinse under the filtered water tap. Then I let it sit there on the can to drain out a bit. Now, as you're aware, I've already done a batch, so my bowl's dirty, and there is 0 point in making more dishes or cleaning it, because we're just going again. So I'm just going to use it like that. Now, turn on my scales. I work in ounces, which is, I'm in Australia, so it's usually grams and kilos. But for this recipe, and a lot of things I do, I work in American ounces. So, and I kind of do this baking mainly when my bananas have turned brown, so they're still firm, but then again I'll use them until they're even almost mushy, because they're sweeter. The browner they are, the sweeter they are, and so I save cooking time for when that happens. Bananas are used in these recipes I use for anything to do with breakfast as a sweetener instead of the sugar. So what you want is 16 ounces of banana, which I am shy of. So today I'm just going to substitute it with a bit of spare. I'm going to be very shy actually. I might have to get some frozen banana out of the freezer. Now, I like to keep ripe but not overly ripe. I've got to remember 3.4 ounces extra in each. Banana in the freezer, not for cooking so much, but for eating. They're really nice. I like them like that, not like that. Right, so I use that for cooking. But when they're like this and they're frozen, they taste like banana ice cream. So That's when I have my fruit some days, I eat it frozen. I enjoy it as a snack, and I just sit there with a little bowl and eat it. But frozen banana, if you've never tried it, is really delicious. That'll have to do. That's close enough. Don't think I'm going to get 0.1. Now, because that bowl's metal, I'll put it on that that plate and put it in the microwave, because we're going to mash this, so it doesn't matter if it goes mushy. So while that's microwaving, which wouldn't be a step you'd have to worry about, we'll put pineapple on the chopping board. And unless you have a jar of crushed pineapple, and I'm going to dice it up so it's more like crushed pineapple. Now what I usually use in this recipe is cranberries, 2 ounces of cranberries. I'm not sure if that's the original recipe or not, but that's what I usually use. Or I may have even substituted some of the banana for some dried fruit. So, and when I do that, for every 8 ounces of fresh fruit, I substitute with 2 ounces of dry fruit. If I'm using dry fruit, which is not, it's not BLE, but dried fruit I don't think, but I've done it from the beginning and it's been fine. So, okay, so I've got to measure out, reset the scales, and I have to measure out 8 ounces, let the juice drip in there. I'm going to get, oh yes, there we go, 8. So I've got just this tiny weeny little bit left. And in goes the rest of the bananas. Now at this stage I'll give it a mash, and I use this tool which I bought for cooking minced meat, which is really handy because it's, you can push it into the meat and separates the meat really easily. Otherwise minced meat is a bit of a pain to cook, sort of sticks together and that. But it also makes a good masher, banana, I've discovered. Mashes it up pretty quickly. And I can't use a lot of electrical noisy things in the morning because my husband's usually sleeping, or can be. So I do everything by hand. Okay, that'll do. Now into that, you want a teaspoon of dried lemon or orange peel. And I make my own lemon peel. A teaspoon of cinnamon, I usually go for a heaped. 2 teaspoons of vanilla essence, it says, but I use pure vanilla extract. That's one of my spoils. I allow myself. And then we'll give that a mix in. Then add 4 eggs. But before we do, we want 4 ounces of peanut butter. And I do apologise for my lighting. I didn't plan to film this morning, so I've just, the light isn't great. It's Easter Sunday and I didn't plan to spend it with you, but here I am. So I mix that peanut butter in first. Otherwise, once the egg's in, it'll be a little bit more difficult. When you've got something to push, some food things in there to push against it, helps spread it out. Because the peanut butter I used is thick and crunchy. And it's a natural, no added sugar peanut butter. Now, and when I add my eggs, and see those lovely dark yolks there, I think how grateful I am for my gorgeous chickens. Oh, that's the worst egg opening experience you'll see on camera. Don't know what happened there. 3. Yep. Everybody's saying, there's a shell, there's a shell. Some people see it on a big screen and be able to see things I can't see. Okay. Okay, now I add half a teaspoon of sugar. No, not sugar. We don't have sugar. Half a teaspoon of salt, and that noise you can hear is my air fryer winding down from the first batch. But it may not be ready. I might have to switch the shells over and give it a bit more. So let's have a look. Hang on, the top looks very brown on the top one. Oh no, good, beautiful. Look at that. Yum. But usually in this little oven, it's pretty handy, but you see the bottom shelf usually needs a bit longer. Now if I feel it's not even cooked through. See that, hear it and see it? It's not quite cooked through either. I'll give it another 5 minutes. But these are looking good, bouncing back there. Yeah. So my Easter not hot cross buns are ready for breakfast. So I need to get a wriggle on so that I can eat. Because it's nearly 10:30 in the morning here. So, okay, the last 3 ingredients are 1 teaspoon of bicarb soda. I think some of you call it baking soda. And then baking powder. So a teaspoon of each. And then 4 ounces of oats. Now I buy the creamy style organic oats. So they're a little bit smaller or crushed, or the smaller oats. It looks like they sort. The smaller oats goes into that. They cook a bit quicker. Okay, you want 4 ounces of that. Okay, on the dot. Mix it in. And it's ready to pour in. Now I use a 1/3 cup measuring cup to pour in, and it's usually a pretty full one of those in each hole of the muffin tray. And I'll reuse these. Quick spray of olive oil spray, and I'll reuse them for the next lot. And this is why I like this thing, because if you get stuff stuck in there, it's really easy to get it out. They're easy to clean. I can't remember what it's called, sorry, but yeah. So that's pretty much where I fill it to. This batter's been sitting there for about 5 minutes, so it's starting to rise. You are best to put it straight in, but because I was filming, I had to do a few things. So you can see what I mean. It does really fill them up. So don't be scared. There's a little less volume when you use dry fruit, obviously, but that's another lot ready to go in. Okay, I get to show you a few things here. This is the bottom tray, and they're almost flat to the muffin tray, but you notice the ones I showed you before risen higher. Same quantity in them. It's just the tray underneath, because the way it cooks won't rise as well as the top tray does, but there's the same amount. And for a breakfast on my eating plan, I'm allowed to have 3 of these muffins for breakfast, which is a lovely breakfast to have with my coffee. There is not coffee on the plan, but I have coffee, so mine's an adapted plan. So, and speaking of adaptation, the recipe was, I might just talk to you while I take these out. So the original recipe, and I'm not sure how much I've adapted this. I generally do adapt recipes to suit myself, but the original recipe was from gsfkitchen.com, and it will be in one of her books, but I haven't got the book. It's a bit, I'm in Australia, and it's a lot to, the book isn't cheap. I mean, it's a great book. A lot of people have bought it, but I don't have the funds to buy it and then pay for postage. It comes to quite a bit here. So they're the muffins though, and you can see now they're more. I'll open one up for you because you'll want to see that, won't you? They are, there you go. So they're very moist and sort of spongy. They're not like a cake, but they're a breakfast muffin and quite filling. So they're quite dense, and yeah. And I'll show you this one out of the other tray so you can see. This is very hot to handle here. Oh, see, that one's a little undercooked. That one's a little undercooked. So what I'll do with those, I'll freeze those ones, because I always put them back in the air fryer to have them nice out of the air fryer. I don't generally eat them. I mean, I have eaten them just like this cold, but I like to have them out of the oven for breakfast. So they'll get a bit extra cooking anyhow. So I will do that and keep these in the fridge for, well, 2 for today, 2 more of them for today, and 3 for another day this week. Would you believe, as it happens, I found small bananas. But these are good, so I can show you. This is the stage where we like to eat them. I'll eat them a little bit underripe from this. Ooh. And this is the stage where I will chop them up, put them in the freezer. So that's kind of the ripe stage where they'll go in the freezer. It's ready. It's nearly 11 o'clock. I think it's 10 to 11 now. But I've successfully navigated a nice, healthy breakfast, avoided the chocolate, and baked myself enough breakfast to last, what is it, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 8 breakfasts, including the one I've got here. So a whole week of breakfast done. And a little video for you guys. Oh, and I used up the bananas. It's good not to waste food, isn't it? And bananas are too good to waste. So make these breakfast muffins. And that's just a quick one for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. 0 sugar or flour, not hot cross buns. It's something much healthier.